In this video, we're going to dissect some of the most important output that you need. So you're going to start with, your model, you hit run, you look at your tables, and it's all going to be in this. So you're going to look at your output, and there's all kinds of things over here to click through. What I have done is I have gone through these notes for the model, estimates, model fit, all of these different things, copied it all over to Word so that you can kind of annotate, and I can highlight what are the big parts that you want to focus on. So this is the Word document that you have. So you can see we're over here in notes for the model. This is the default. This is what comes up first. It gives you some information about the model that you have in general, but what you want here is to note your chi-square. So we can see our chi-square is significant. There's my degrees freedom and my actual chi-square value. We don't want it to be significant, but we know sample size is probably going to be, so we're just going to kind of note all of that and write that down. Then I'm going to go up to variable summary, just that you can kind of see. This is everything that you have put into this model. So all variable summary is doing is describing all of the things that you have in your model. What's really interesting is when you scroll down, you can kind of see the variable count. So this is the total number of variables you have, how many observed, unobserved, independent and dependent variables right in here. When we go to parameter summary, this is another thing that just gives you some information about your model. I don't tend to look at it very often, but that's what it's doing. Estimates is one of your go-tos. So with our estimates, this is everything that you are going to need for all of your tables. So this is all of the items that are on the factor, and you can kind of interpret this like a regression. So these would be kind of the beta weights, but basically in this I'm going to scan through and make sure that everything is significant. So in this case, this is a one factor model. And we know that because all of these are items and they're all loading onto this one single factor of use. You will have other outputs where you'll have different items and they will load onto different factors. So in this case, everything is significantly loading onto the intended factor. Whoops. Scrolling down, still under estimates, I now have my standardized regression weights. If you do not have this table, it's because you didn't check a box. So make sure you go back to how to run things and check those boxes. Here, what I'm looking for is that all of my standardized loadings are above a 0.4. So I want everything loading, at least at that moderate level of a 0.4 correlation, ideally above. So here, everything is loading nicely onto the intended factor. I'm now going to go from estimates over to model fit. Honestly, I will sometimes jump to this first to get an idea of my model. My CFI is going to be right here. I use the default model, so my CFI for this is a 0.69, which is not ideal in any means. And then this table keeps going. You'll have all kinds of fit statistics. But if you scroll down to RMSEA is our other standard one, we can see that's a 0.12. So for this model, it looks like everything is loading well onto the single factor, but it doesn't really fit very well. So there might be another interpretation, like the 4-factor model, hint, hint, that might fit better than a single factor. So that's the output that you're going to be looking for and highlighting first.